Thought I'd put this little video together to talk about one of the most important things for a wedding ceremony, which is sound. So this is important for musicians, it's really important for celebrants. There's a few things you can do to really make the sound great at a wedding ceremony and avoid things like the sound cutting out or people not being heard. So this video is all about that. I hope you get something out of it. So first things first is obviously knowing a bit about the space. This is the secret garden at Lansmore. So procession comes through there, they get married up there, pretty straightforward. Now the pros of this spot, it's protected from the wind. Look at these beautiful trees all the way around. That's fantastic, because if anyone's been to a beach wedding or something like that where the wind's howling, it makes it really hard to hear what's going on. Now this is true of, I don't know, I would guess 40 to 50% of wedding ceremony spots. There's no power, but in this day and age the battery tech is really good, so everyone should have battery powered gear. The issue with battery powered gear is, well, there's several issues, but they all really come down to the same one, which is volume, power. So what I'm going to do now is put together my ceremony rig, show you all the bits and pieces, how it all works, what it all does. So what do we got here? We got 3 speakers. How greedy. Anyway, this is a JBL Eon 1 little battery powered speaker. That's what I plug everything into. Microphone, guitar, and I'm Bluetoothing the music through it. Out of that, it goes into this speaker. This is a Chiaio that I've had for about 10 years. Great speaker, pretty old tech now, let out some battery, but it still works great. It's an awesome speaker. Now I run this as a slave. Unfortunate terminology, you've got the master and the slave. That's basically just taking what's coming out of that and sending it out that way. Why do I want to send it out that way? Well, that's where the procession's coming down. So if I've got my speakers all facing one way, they're not going to hear very well up there. They might not know when to start coming down, especially if it's a long procession. This one is facing that way where most of the action is going to take place, of course. And down here I've got a battery powered sub. Now this is a new addition to the team. It's a Mackie Thump Sub Go. It's actually really cool. I only recently bought it because they've only recently started being made. Battery powered subs just did not exist before this. It's a 400 watt sub. I don't know whether that's RMS or peak, and I assume that's when it's plugged into the wall that you get 400 watts out of it, but it doesn't matter. I've used it at something like 4 gigs now, and I haven't had to push it at all. It's got plenty of power. So the main reason I'm using a sub is that it takes the pressure off these boxes. So what you'll find, especially in suboptimal conditions, is you start pushing these boxes too hard, you start getting clipping, and you can do serious damage to them. And they're pretty much, if you damage the drivers in these, it's pretty much a throwaway. It's not worth fixing, even if you can find someone to fix it. You know, if it's under warranty, all cool, if you can get a warranty claim on that for misuse. But yeah, you've got to really look after these things, and they get blown all the time because people just push them beyond their limits. Having a system like this gives you clean headroom. This reproduces those frequencies for you, gets you a bit of bottom end, takes pressure off these, and also helps the sound carry a bit further. Projection's another big issue at ceremonies, because you might be in a really large space. This one's not too bad. Personally, I like to set up at the back of the ceremony so I'm out of sight. I don't like to be in the photos and stuff, and I don't think the couple like that either. So I always set up at the back, which means I just have to project that distance. So you'll notice that I've set up the speakers pretty high. Like that distance rod's as high as it can go actually. So the reason is that a ceremony, typically half the people will be sitting down, half of them are going to be standing up, and those speakers have to be sending sound out over people's heads, or else it's just not going to be heard up there. Now, while I'm on that topic, I might as well talk about wireless systems. Not that I use them, because I have no need to. I'm generally where my speakers are, or near enough. I can just plug straight in with leads. Wireless systems can be a can of worms, so I try to avoid them unless they're absolutely necessary. Not so for celebrants. Celebrants generally have a speaker set up at the back, somewhere off to the side. They don't want leads running everywhere, bridal party tripping over it, all that kind of thing. So they run wireless systems. Now, some of you celebrants, I love you to bits, but I've lost count of the number of ceremonies I've done where the microphone cuts out during the ceremony. That's not what you want for obvious reasons. So yeah, get it up nice and high on a speaker stand. Make sure that there's a clear line of sight between the transmitter, which is your microphone, and the receiver, which is in your speaker. So what I'm going to do now is put some music on, just recorded music. To keep the copyright gods happy, I'm going to put on some original music, one of my recordings. So what I'll do is I'll start with that first speaker, the little JBL Eon Compact, and then switch each speaker on in turn so you can hear the difference. So I've actually switched sides because it was getting a bit sunny over that side. I didn't really realise which direction the sun was going. Come over into the shade, set it up again, didn't take long. Okay, I'm going to put the recording on now. To begin with, just this box be working. Then I'll put on this on Mr. Slave, and then we'll put on the sub last so you can hear the difference.
Pretty little feathers queen works at clubs and theater scene, dreams of things that ought to be
I'll have to come around here so you can hear this one working.
collided with reality, collude with men she should not meet, and then to sound stuff so sweet.
Now the sub.
I'm into her fantasy to lay beneath the trembling feet. Oh, silent rain,
The good thing about bass frequencies, they spread out in all directions, so it doesn't matter if you're behind the speaker. These other speakers are a bit more directional. If anything, that's a bit too much. I might back it off a touch.
the next must surely be at last. She's hardened up and hardened more as life closes another door. So full of hope she started out and tried so hard there is no doubt.
You can see where I was running that sub. So, yeah, I could have even gone lower than that, to be honest. This is the little control room of the JBL Eon 1 Compact. It's all pretty compact, as the name suggests. It's got effects there, bit of reverb. Sounds really good, but to be honest, like this 10-year-old speaker sounds just as good. As you can see, it's a bit more analog, a few more knobs. To be honest, I prefer that. I'm pretty old school that way. It's a bit quicker just to fix things and change things. But yeah, both great speakers. I'm really happy with both of them. But yeah, now that I've got the sub, it's I can put my mind at ease that I'm going to have enough headroom. I'm going to be heard at any ceremony in any spot. So there you have it. That's a wrap. Now we just got to wait for the guests to arrive, get my guitar set up, and let's wedding.